Welcome to the Anime Zillia, and thank you for joining me as we talk about episode 14 of the A Certain Scientific Railgun T animated series. A truly fantastic episode from start to finish, not because of the hype dragons appearing out of Touma. That was a great visual, a little anticlimactic in my opinion in terms of finishing off the final fight, but I loved the character interactions and the emotion on display. The music that was picked for this episode was superb. So let's break down this episode in 3 simple descriptive words: comedic, heartfelt, and wholesome. This felt like a season finale. We have things being wrapped up and corrected, while at the same time we have mysteries left in the air about things that could possibly unravel in the future. I'll go into some questions that are still lingering throughout this series towards the end of the video. But why do I say comedy? Well, simply put, one character in particular, Saturn. Her character reinforces herself as one of the best characters in all of Index. Not, just the Railgun franchise, but Index in general. She shows a lot of fantastic emotions, a lot of fantastic traits, and all around a great comedic aspect of the episode. I love the fact that she picked up on Misaka's kind of actions around Touma, her feelings towards him. So her and Uiharu kind of orchestrated the events in where we get this dance scene between the two of them. And we have, just in general, this character just being a really wholesome, giving a wholesome vibe, giving this really sweet atmosphere when the character's on screen. And we know this from Saturn's character in general because that's just what she emits in terms of her aura. We also have things like Shirai adding to the comedy, with her flair in her basically being restrained. But newsflash, she can teleport. And I thought this was a fantastic piece to put into the episode. The reason being is, we know as the audience that she can teleport. But because we're so invested in the interactions between Touma and Misaka, and what is going on in terms of A, the comedy, and B, the dialogue being spoken, we forget about logical thinking for just a split second. And that line from Saturn where they're like, oh yeah, she can teleport. That was actually really funny and ironic because the fact is we were so immersed in everything else that was going on, we as an audience forgot that she can teleport for that split second, giving us that extra bit of comedic relief. The final note on comedy I want to bring up in this video is the expressions. There are lots of expressions that help add to the comedy, the lightheartedness and the wholesomeness of the episode. But the comedy, the expressions come from embarrassment. They come from being kind of flustered and being confused and dazed. I really like the expressions here. Another standout character for me personally from this series, or episode I should say, was Kongo. She acts as this kind of emotional and eye-opening figure for Misaka. But at the same time, Kongo shows off her own emotions in a splendid fashion. She tells Misaka that she is like a role model to those around her, which Misaka kind of refutes and says, no, I don't think I am. But actually, she is. It's the way that Misaka presents herself and her personality. People want to gravitate towards her and help her out. This is a great eye-opener because it's something that Misaka has been struggling with throughout the entirety of Railgun. She doesn't want to get her friends or anyone in danger or involved because of the risks that they would have to take if they help her out. So we've always seen this inner struggle with her kind of accepting her friends' help, but actually this situation, she needed just that. But the fact is, she still put Kongo in danger. She still feels sad about doing so. But this little interaction between the two helped clears that sadness away from Misaka. As well as the fact is, Kongo herself said to Misaka that Misaka is like a role model to others, and Kongo's a bit downhearted because she wanted to kind of be the same. She wanted to be a role model to somebody. And she had her eyes open because she didn't realize that Wakatsuki and Manai highly value her as much as they do. We see throughout this entire series just how much Wakatsuki and Manai value Kongo as a friend, as a partner. And the fact that Kongo learns this and sees this and her reactions were just so wholesome, so sweet and heartfelt. And the music that was playing in the background. The music throughout this entire episode was on point in every aspect of the word. But just here, the soft, melloetic sounds that were projected helped emphasize and back up the dialogue, creating a very light-hearted and a very sweet atmosphere that again boosts what is being said, elevating the dialogue even further. This, I thought, was amazing. One negative about the segment between Kongo and Misaka, though, was when Kongo looked a bit kind of nervously happy in terms of her facial expressions, it didn't translate in the voice very well. That is just the one thing I do have a criticism of. It was the same flat tone or voice that we have from Kongo normally. There was no change in pitch or sort of dialect. It was just like normal Kongo voice, which is a bit of a shame, but nevertheless, it was still enjoyable to see Kongo and what she offered, because she offered a lot of great development. It shows development from both Misaka and Kongo in this section. Touma's speech to Misaka as well is something that has to be stated as great, because not only does it show the fact that Touma is developing as a character, she acts more mature in this episode, especially with that speech, saying that it's okay to be angry at the darkness of Academy City, because there are some messed up things. You should believe him. And we've seen this firsthand from both characters' perspectives. But he says that Misaka has friends around her, and even he is going to be there to help her and bring her out that darkness and protect her and help her out if she ever needs to. Okay, this adds more fire to the Misaka Touma ship if you follow that, but at the same time, the reactions from Misaka was just perfect. I love the facial expression so much, I put it in a thumbnail. But the animation here was beautiful. And again, it shows how much Touma has grown as a character throughout Index, throughout Railgun. And it adds more layers and viability to the end of Index 3, when Misaka is kind of coming to terms with her feelings for Touma and goes after him in, I think it was Russia. Did they go to Russia at the end of Index 3? But it emphasizes her reasoning for wanting to go and save him at the end of Index 3, because he's always been there to help her. And she says here, she wants to be there to help her friends and repay the help and kindness and respect that they've always given her. So again, this whole episode is just a great build-up and great kind of a foundation to explaining more reasons as to why Misaka goes after Touma at the end of Index 3. So I love that connection. That connection was amazing. Now, I've already said, this episode felt very end of season like, because we had some things wrapped up, but we still had things up in the air and ambiguous, some questions that needed to be answered. I like the fact that we now have the main girls have their memories back, and the fun sort of twist that everyone in Academy City or Tokyo would I thinks that Misaka had stomach issues and she was like a monster because of it, angrily shouting at Shokuho's clique. That was funny, because we have Misaka kind of reflecting and thinking, oh, maybe Shokuho ain't that bad. She hears that and she's like, damn it, Shokuho! And yeah, I mean, it basically tells us we're going to have more interactions between Misaka and Shokuho in the future, which I'm liking Shokuho more and more as we see more of her, and she still does have the air of mystery and intriguement about her, so hopefully we do see her again pretty soon. Now, peace has returned to the city once more, only for a short time. Even Misaka is shown to be having a good time and acting rather childish, saying that the god of lightning and the god of wind have come back at the Daihatsu Sports Festival. This again was testament to what Misaka has been through, because we know that she's been through a lot of darkness and a lot of crazy stuff, especially in this arc. But at the same time, she still come out on top and acts very positive and very jolly and still immature, which is a testament to how strong her will and her mind truly is. So this may be subtle, but it's still a great little inclusion. So then, what are the questions that are still lingering within this series? Well, let's run down through them. There's quite a lot of them, and if you do know the answer, and they're not a major spoiler, feel free to let me know. But if they are a big spoiler, then of course, I'll prefer it if you didn't spoil anything, because I haven't read the light novels yet, nor have I made it to the end of Index T. But let's go through them. So why does Touma have 7 dragons within him? That's still an ambiguous question that we still don't know the answer to. And how does he manifest those creatures? Every time we've seen it, his arm has been taken off. So does he always have to lose Imagine Breaker for like his body to react and kind of, you know, dragons come out? Because we see it in Season 1 where he uses the dragon's roar on a smaller scale. We see it at the end of Index 3 where he kind of uses some weird mysterious power and gets his arm back. And we see it in this episode. Plus, why does his eye turn red in the process? That's a key visual that we haven't seen yet from the series. We've never seen Touma's eye change colour. Is it due to stress? Is it due to the mental trauma of losing a body part and using this ability too much? We have no idea as of this point. Well, light novel readers might, but I certainly do not. Mitika then asks the question that the fanbase has been asking for a while, and that is, what is up with your body, Touma? How can this guy regrow or reattach his arms pretty much as easy as anything? Like, that's something I've never really understood. I know it's to do with Imagine Breaker and everything else, but still, something I'd love for him to explore a little bit more in detail. Another question that gets raised up is, what will Mitsuki Shokuho do with Kozaku? After all, it seemed like Kozaku was ready to just lie there and die on the spot. She even mentioned about having rats nibbling away at her and becoming rat food, which is rather dark and quite sad for her character. Maybe we're going to see some kind of memory alterations from Mitsuki Shokuho and kind of bring back that desire and that reasoning and that wanting to meet Dolly again from Kozaku's character, because we all know that Kozaku is the former friend of Dolly. So maybe they're going to play on that a little bit more, but only time will tell. What is up with Sogita's power? I really want to know that, and it's not just to do with guts, although if you want to spam the word guts in the comments, by all means do that, because I love it when this guy shouts that, and he did say one line that was rather intriguing. Do you really want me to get angry? What happens when he goes angry? Does his power go out of control and go berserk? I'd love to find out more. This character is a character that I started off not really liking too much, but actually as the series goes on, Sogita Gunner, he's intriguing. Give me more. And then the another question, is that a shadow medal that falls on a battlefield? And if so, why did it appear here? I know they said that they needed like 1,000 espers in one place using this an attack all on each other for it to appear. This is mysterious metal. But because it was mentioned, it means it's coming back again in the future, so we should get an answer shortly. So like I said, there are still many things left still unanswered throughout this series. And that excites me for the future of the show itself and the franchise in general, because it means we're going to learn more stuff as we move forward. Obviously the light novels might have answered a few of these questions before, and it might just take a quick Google to find out, but I don't want to do that. I want to learn as I go through the series, and I might even start reading the light novels, because I'm part way through volume 1 at the moment. It's just a slow process. Reading light novels does take me a lot longer than it does a manga or an anime. Nevertheless though, I can't wait to see what truths and mysteries are unravelled. But that's all I've got to say for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and of course, I'd like to hear your opinions. Hopefully we move on to some more stories, but I think we're going to get a few filler episodes to kind of pass the time in between arcs, but nevertheless, it should still be entertaining. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're new for more index-related content next week. I think I'm going to break down, like, in depth, the next opening, to kind of give my thoughts and opinions of what I think is going to happen based on those visuals next week. So make sure you go check that out if that does indeed come about, which there's about a 90% chance that it will. Other than that though, hope you have an amazing day, and I'll catch you next time. Alligator matane! Goodbye.